Okay, now in the next couple segments of video, we're going to address the hands one at a time, all right? We're going to start off by working with the right hand, okay? This is a right hand, okay? Next lesson. No, just kidding. We're also going to talk a little bit about the pick. Now, you don't absolutely have to play with the pick, okay? Many people play with their fingers and do just fine. I love to play fingerstyle personally. But in this series, we are going to learn how to use the pick. Because again, you know, most of what you hear, you know, in popular music, you know, rock, you know, punk, country, you know, metal, whatever, the pick is normally used. So we're going to, you know, address the pick in this series of lessons and teach you how to use it. Now, this particular pick that I'm using is a pretty standard shaped pick, all right? This is a Fender 1mm pick. It's got the horns on it, metal, rock on, dude. All right, so anyway. Picks come in different thicknesses, okay? They come in extra light, light, medium, heavy, extra heavy. That basically just, you know, means thickness, okay? They come in different thicknesses. For beginners, I recommend medium picks, straight up medium picks. Next time you go to the guitar store, you may want to get a few different ones. Get a light, a medium, a heavy. I don't really recommend extra heavy. Definitely not for beginners anyway. And you can try them out, you know, get a couple different ones, try out the different thicknesses. Again, I think medium is a good, you know, happy medium to begin with. All right, anyway, sorry about the bad jokes, but they're going to keep coming. So we're going to talk about how to hold the pick right now. Most people use the thumb and the first finger, the index finger, to hold the pick. And I've seen other people do it a little bit differently, but we're going to use the thumb and the first finger just because that's the most common way to do it. By the way, you pick with the pointed edge of the pick. The pointed surface of the pick is what we use to attack the string. Most commonly, again, I've seen people use the other sides too, but we're going to use the point. All right. Now the thumb goes straight across like this. All right, perpendicular, big word, to the point. And then what happens is the first finger is going to come around and wrap around to where it's kind of going back in the opposite direction from the way the thumb is pointing. All right, and we end up with something that kind of looks like this. All right. Now, you don't want to let too much of the pick stick out. I'm letting, what would that be? Maybe 1/4 of an inch, maybe at the most, stick out. You don't want to let too much of the pick stick out because you want to get a good grip on it for one thing. And then secondly, just for economy of motion, things that'll become a little more evident later on. You just don't want to let too much of the pick stick out. I don't think it's a good idea. So we end up with something like this. The other fingers can just relax, all right? If you want, you know, if it feels comfortable, you can curl them up. Or you can just kind of just let them hang out and curl up like they naturally would. That's actually what I recommend that you do, all right? Now when you play, you want to keep a fairly firm grip on it, all right? Sometimes when you strum, you want to keep a loose grip on it so it moves around in your hand a little bit. But I recommend, you know, just keeping a fairly good grip on it, not a really tight death grip on it either, okay? Death. You just want to keep a fairly firm grip on it, just so it doesn't get away from you. People have a hard time with the pick moving around in their hand at first a lot of the time. People also have problems with dropping the pick. So if you keep a fairly good grip on it, hopefully that won't be a problem. Now what we're going to do here, again, this is just basic ground floor stuff here. We're going to start off by playing the strings one at a time, the open strings one at a time. Now when I say open string, I just mean playing the string without the assistance of the left hand. Okay, so this is all 6 strings played open. All right. Anyway, we're going to start off with the first string. Here's E. All right. Now what we do, the very basic technique of this, is we rest the pick on the string. All right. No, I'm not resting the pick. I don't know if you can get in here and see this. I'm not really resting the pick so it's flush. The whole surface of the pick is flush up against the string. That's not really what we want to do. We want to come in at a little bit of an angle. All right. So the string is contacting the bottom edge of the pick. Again, it's not full on flat up against the string like this, okay? That's way too much friction, way too much contact. That's going to slow us down eventually. We want to play just off the edge of the pick. So we contact the tip of the pick, okay? Again, we just use the tip of the pick, especially when we're playing single notes. The edge of the pick makes contact with the string. And then coming from the wrist, playing single notes comes, you know, the motion comes from the wrist. We just add a little bit of pressure, and then we just kind of let the string slip out from underneath the pick. We end up with something like that. All right, again, we rest the pick on the string, the bottom edge of the pick on the string, add a little bit of pressure, and just let the string slip out from underneath the pick, all right? Not a lot of contact there. Also, not a lot of motion. You see, I'm just using a very small motion, about that much, about that much motion. Just enough to get the note to sound, just enough to get the open string to sound. All all right? And we want to get used to just using this little bit of motion because any excess is wasted energy, and we're definitely trying to avoid that. So anyway, there's the first string. Now let's do the same thing on the other strings, okay? Now when we come up, you want to kind of move back like this. You can move at the elbow as you come up and down, all right? Over here, the right hand is resting on the guitar, kind of for stability, all right? But as we come up, you know, it's a little bit, the elbow kind of moves up this way, but the arm also kind of moves back at the shoulder. So it's kind of a combination of these two motions that you're coming up and down. I bet that looks really funny. But when you're coming up like this, again, a little bit of elbow, a little bit of shoulder is going to bring your right hand back across the strings. The main thing here is you want the right hand to approach each string at the same angle every time. All right, you don't want to really adjust the angle in the, you know, that the pick makes contact with the string. And you know, you don't want the angle of the wrist to have to come up like this. We're definitely not moving that. We want to approach each string, you know, as far as the hand is concerned, at the exact same way every time. So when we come to the second string, again, we kind of bend at the elbow just a little bit, bring it back, second string, back it up a little more, third string, back it up a little more, fourth, back it up a little more, fifth, back it up a little more, sixth. All right, so you can kind of see it's sort of this motion. I know, it looks funny. Go ahead and laugh at me. Laugh at me, it's okay. Now let's do it one more time, just in the opposite direction. We're gonna start off with the sixth string. Now come down to the fifth. Again, just a little turn of the wrist is all it takes. Fourth string, third string, second string, and then the first string. All right, so those are the open strings played one at a time using the pick. All right, you ready for your first riff? You ready? You pumped? Here it comes. This is incredibly easy to do, all right? The intro to the Metallica tune, Nothing Else Matters, is just open strings, all right? So you can actually fool people into thinking that you can actually play something legit just by doing this, all right? Follow me. Play these open strings after me. 6, 3, 2, 1. Back up to 2, and then back up to 3. All right, those 6 open strings is the intro to Metallica's Nothing Else Matters. You can wave to people while you're playing it. Hi. See, I was trying to be funny and I messed it up. Anyway, that's a good open string exercise for you to try, and it actually sounds like music.